How's it going, laddies and ladettes? Today I wanted to sort of analyse each operator in a game and give them a score and place them in a list compared to other operators in the game. Because of the large quantity of operators in the game, I'm only going to individually make individual videos for each operator. So the way I wanted to score each operator is based on their ability, loadout, and synergy with the team. So basically, yeah, how well the operator works with the team, synergy means. I believe these are the only three important features of every operator that I need to go into, and things like their speed and armor rating just aren't all that important. So at the end of each section, so like defense and attackers, I will display a ranking of each operators, scoring up against each other, and maybe I'll also do one like with attackers and defenders conjoined as well. So I feel like it's also important to say that these are more of an opinion-based ranking, as I would have different thoughts and perspectives towards certain characters as someone else might. And if it helps at all, I've been playing the game consistently for like 3-4 years now, and started playing during current era, and I reach plat every season. So that's any merit. So let's finally start this. Starting with Kapkan, or as I like to call him, Kapkonian Clap. He is granted the ability of being able to plant entry denial devices on door and window frames. These devices are explosions that can only be triggered by attackers once they pass through the red laser emitted out of the device. The explosion will damage players around it if they're close enough, in a close enough range, and will do a maximum output of 60 damage towards an operator's HP. He's able to place 5 of these around the map, but can easily be disposed of, by a single bullet if seen, and something that I'm not sure not a lot of people know about. But Montagne, and yes, I call him Montagne, deal with it. He's able to actually bait traps and make the explosion go off without taking any damage himself. Maybe a little bit now because of the damage reduction. Which is pretty cool. His traps, if used right and get set in smart spots, are likely to be set off as if it's something that will normally catch one attacker off guard, with allowing a lot of information for an attacker. What am I even saying? A lot of information for an attacker's whereabouts, weakening them in the process. After the first trap, however, it's very unlikely you'll see another trap get set off, and the only information given from them will be the attackers shooting them out, or Twitch's drone destroying them from there on. For his ability, I'll be giving him a 5 out of 10, as it really becomes quite useless as after its first use. But with every trap operator, there is always a chance that it is a random decider and greatly hurts the opposing team. Kapkan's loadout is slightly ranged in what's available to him. For primary, he granted access to the NX-19 VSN, which is a submachine gun that shoots at 750 rounds per minute, doing 34 base damage, and has a clip of 30. Recoil for the NX-19 VSN is quite low and shouldn't cause you any trouble, making it an easy weapon to pick up and start using, having an overall decent level of damage and fire rate under its belt. The second primary weapon Kapkan has is the SASG-12, that I will now refer to as the Sausage, semi-automatic shotgun with a magazine size of 10 and does 49 base damage. The shotgun does have quite a bit of a kick to it, so it is something that you must be wary about when using it, but at the same time, that it's not a very practical weapon to be using on defense, so I would advise not doing so. For simplicity and my sanity, I'm going to avoid talking about each operator's secondary, unless it's vital to the character for some reason. So Kapkan I'll be skipping for secondaries, because they aren't linked to his power or anything. The last thing in Kapkan's loadout we'll be looking at is his choices between, what are they called, gadgets I guess. So Kapkan can choose from either impact grenades or an infrasound. I'm just going to assume you know what they do, and because it feels pointless explaining what they do, as people watching it should know what they do. However, these are both great choices and both are used for different uses, but are still highly valuable to your team if used correctly, whether it's by creating loops for fellow teammates or taking an opponent out swiftly. Overall, for Kapkan's loadout, I'll be giving him a 7 out of 10, as he does have a nice range of options to choose from, but it's more leaning towards basic territory when it comes to weapons. Our last area of analysis for Kapkan is his synergy with the rest of the team. This will probably be the shortest section I talk about him with, out of most operators, as for most I won't have much to say with. Kapkan is what you call a selfish operator, and more benefits him rather than the team. Your team is able to use Kapkan traps to their advantage, but it's hard to use him in a team way other than just an information source, which will only rarely give information. The most synergy Kapkan gives to the team is with his impact grenades, if he chooses to bring them and, open up rotates for other defenders. So I'll be giving him a 3 out of 10 for synergy overall. This means that Kapkan will be giving a final score of 15 out of 30, and at this point in time, we have no idea how they matched up with other defenders, assuming he's the first, but it does seem to be quite poor. And so that'll be all for Kapkan today. Next, I will be looking at Tachanka, and going in a bit of a weird order. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. I hope maybe you found it helpful in some way. But until then, bye bye.